Have you ever noticed something strange about yourself? You get excited about a new goal, you make a plan, you tell yourself this time will be different. For a few days, maybe even a few weeks, you're unstoppable, you wake up motivated, you stay focused, you feel like you've finally figured it out, then something happens, the excitement fades, you miss one day, then another. And before you know it, the thing you were so excited about becomes another unfinished project sitting in the background of your life. But here's the question most people never ask: what if the problem isn't that you're bad at finishing? What if you've simply trained your brain to love starting? Because starting and finishing are not the same skill, and if you always start strong but never finish, this video might explain exactly why. Before we talk about how to finish what you start, you need to understand one thing: your brain loves rewards. In fact, it loves rewards so much that it often gets confused about where the reward is supposed to come from. Most people think success feels good when they achieve something, but your brain often gets excited long before that. It gets excited when you imagine the future, when you make plans, when you buy the book, when you create the schedule, when you tell yourself your life is about to change. The problem: your brain starts celebrating before you've actually done the work, and that's where the cycle begins. Let's talk about how to break it. Reason 1: you're addicted to the feeling of starting. Think about the last goal you abandoned. Maybe it was a workout program, a business idea, a diet, a side hustle, a new skill. At the beginning, everything felt exciting. You were imagining the results, you were picturing the future version of yourself, and every day felt full of possibility. But eventually something changed. The work stopped feeling exciting, the progress slowed down, and suddenly the goal wasn't fun anymore. Here's what most people don't realize: the beginning of a goal gives you constant emotional rewards. The middle usually doesn't. The middle is repetitive. The middle is boring. The middle is where motivation disappears. And that's exactly why most people quit. Not because they're incapable. Because they're chasing excitement instead of progress. So what do? Stop measuring success by how motivated you feel. Instead, measure success by how many times you showed up, even when you didn't feel like it. Because finishing starts the moment excitement ends. Reason 2: you expect consistency to feel good. Here's a mistake almost everyone makes: they believe disciplined people enjoy being disciplined. They think successful people wake up every day feeling inspired, but that's not reality. The truth is much less exciting. Most consistent people don't feel motivated most of the time, they simply keep going anyway. Imagine you decide to walk every day. Day 1 feels great. Day 2 feels great. Day 3 feels pretty good, then day 8 arrives, nothing feels different, no big results, no excitement, no breakthrough, just another walk. That's the moment most people quit, because they think something is wrong, but nothing is wrong. That's exactly what consistency feels like. Repetition isn't exciting, it's repetitive, and that's the whole point. The people who finish aren't the people who stay motivated. They're the people who stop expecting motivation to stay. Reason 3: you keep starting over. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to say, "I'll start again on Monday," or next month, or after vacation, or when life slows down? The problem with constantly starting over is that your brain learns something dangerous. It learns that quitting has no consequences. Because every time things get hard, you give yourself a brand new beginning, and beginnings feel amazing. So instead of learning how to continue, you become an expert at restarting. Think about that for a second. You may have started hundreds of times, but finishing requires a completely different skill: the ability to continue when the excitement is gone. Here's a better approach: stop focusing on perfect streaks, focus on returning quickly. Miss one day, come back tomorrow, have a bad week, start again immediately. The goal isn't never falling off track, the goal is spending less time off track. Reason 4: you make the goal too big. Most people don't quit because they're lazy, they quit because they're overwhelmed. At the beginning of a new goal, your future self feels limitless. You tell yourself you'll wake up at 5 a.m., work out every day, read 30 pages, meditate, journal, eat perfectly, and somehow maintain all of it forever. For a few days, it works, then real life shows up. You're tired, busy, stressed. And suddenly your perfect plan falls apart. The problem wasn't your effort, the problem was the size of the plan. Big goals feel inspiring, small actions actually get completed. Instead of asking, "What's the fastest way to succeed?" ask, What's so easy I can do it even on a bad day, because bad days are what determine whether a goal survives. Reason 5. You forgot why you started. Here's something nobody talks about. Goals don't fail overnight, they fade, slowly, quietly. One missed day becomes 3, 3 becomes 10, and eventually the goal becomes something you used to care about. Why does that happen? Because the reason you started gets buried under daily life, the excitement disappears, the urgency fades. And the goal loses its emotional meaning. That's why finishing requires reminders, not motivation, reminders of why this matters, reminders of who you're becoming, reminders of what happens if nothing changes. Every week, take 5 minutes and ask yourself, why did I start this? What am I really trying to create? Who am I becoming if I keep going? Because when the reason stays strong, the work becomes easier to continue. If you always start strong but never finish, the problem probably isn't laziness, it isn't a lack of potential, and it isn't because you're incapable of success. The real problem is that you've been relying on motivation to do a job motivation was never meant to do. Motivation gets you started, systems help you continue, and repetition helps you finish. The people who achieve incredible things aren't always the most talented. They aren't always the smartest, they're usually the ones who kept going after the excitement disappeared. So stop waiting to feel motivated again, stop chasing the perfect restart, stop believing something is wrong because the work feels boring. Boring is where finishing begins, and finishing is where your life starts to change. If this video helped you, subscribe for more videos like this, and tell me in the comments. What's one goal you've started multiple times but still refuse to give up on? I'd love to read your answer.